And today we have a new subject for you. It is something that has gradually grown to my attention, more so this year than ever in my life at this point. Has to do with
Orbs. We don't have the answers. We're just going to be really upfront. But what we'd like to do is just share some of the things that we've experienced with them and just kind of throw it out and see what sticks with it. It's something that we're curious about and we would like more information on, but it's like anything else. You have to discern what feels right and truthful for you. If you just Google orbs or orbs in pictures or energy orbs, you get so many hits on Google, and it's just kind of overwhelming with all the information that's there. So we just want to keep it simple.
And a lot of people, let's go with also both sides of the story, where some people will debunk orbs as specks on the lens or raindrops in whatever, or I mean, there's a whole lot of different
dust particles.
Dust particles.
Precipitation.
Yeah, precipitation, yes.
That too.
Yes. But what we find out is we've had some aha moments, and just to put up a couple pictures of these aha moments, and then we'll talk about them a little bit later. Here's a couple now.
We're going to put this up so you can see it better as a standalone picture. But this is a picture that I took of my son many years ago when we were at Monticello. And you can see there is a field there, and you can see the tracking where it's moved from there up. At least that's how I interpreted it. And we'll show this so you can see it better.
That is one flying orb. Yes.
So that was the first time I was cognizant that I caught one on camera. I had seen others before when I was at places like a metaphysical church. A friend of mine showed me a picture of her daughter who was a toddler at that time. And you could see a couple of distinct orbs in the picture. And they were like, wow, I wonder who that is. And I guess kind of scratching my head going, is that what that is? Is that an entity? I don't know. So what I found out was everybody has their own experience and their own interpretation with it. Now, Robert is much better than I am at catching them on film. What I was taught, and you've been taught too by one of our teachers, is that you shouldn't go around trying to photograph things that are spirit. And the reason is because they don't like it. But when we have gone down to the beach, because we live fairly close to the ocean, when we have gone down there to take pictures, when he takes a picture, you'll see orbs in them. When I take them, not so much so. I was driving in upstate New York to a conference, and then I messed my schedule up and it arrived a day early. I was in a very rural area on dirt roads, and something said stop, so I did, and there's this beautiful, very rustic looking fence with a pasture, and there was no cars around, no people around at all, and I was just looking, and there were spheres, orbs. Some of them looked like the size of a beach ball. Some were the size of a basketball, and some were very small, and some were small like, you know, you take those bubble wands and you like that. They looked like that. The ones I saw were pink and goldish, or pink and silvery, and they were floating in the really strange way. They were going like no specific pattern, like they would go up and down and forward and back. They were just floating, and they had an opalescent sheen to them, so they were a little shimmery, and it was beautiful. And there I could hear. And I am clairaudient, so I can hear spirit, but this was a very high-pitched, beautiful melody almost, but it was totally random, but it was beautiful and harmonious, and they were just making this gorgeous sound, and I have no idea how long I stood there looking at them, but finally I said thank you and left because I didn't think it was ever going to stop. And I didn't see that again until probably about 7 years later, and I was up in a meadow on Skyline Drive, and it was a big place, and there was a place with people on this side. This side was pretty empty, and there was a fence again, and then there was a pasture, and I could see down. And I walked over, and I saw it again. And a friend of mine was with me, and she walked up, and she said, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Can you see this?" And she said, "No, but clearly you do." So she took the kids away so I could just sit and enjoy it. And it was the same thing. Beautiful, flowing movement, sound, and that opalescent sheen. It's just gorgeous. Now, I described this to her later, and she has more of a background in Wicca. And I asked her, I said, what is this? Because I don't understand what I'm seeing. And she said, oh, those are fairies. And I thought, wow, okay, never thought of it like that. So in the search for answers, we have found all kinds of things that it could be. Sometimes it's entities, guardian angels, protection, an idea of what the land is like. Some people interpret based on the color. Now, the ones I saw were pink. But we have photographed, and you photographed many more than I have, but you've come up with a bunch of different colors that I've never seen.
There was one in particular that you will see a picture of. Actually, I'll show it now. It has a rainbow color within the orbs, and there's many behind that are also there. It's like all these entities wanting to help, wanting to assist somehow.
Or just making their presence known.
Or making the presence known. Or confirmation that, yeah, maybe I'm on the right path, and this is just one of those little beautiful acknowledgments that the universe gives you. Another evening, I was out and I snapped a picture, and it turned out to be green orbs, which you can see now. And the green orb, of course, has a color to it. I'm sure pink has a color, green has meaning, the rainbow has meaning, and we can get into these kind of significances later on, maybe talking about chakras or other things. We can get into the actual meanings of those colors. And again, that is all how people make that subjective.
Right. There's also the school of thought that they're thought forms, and I think that, to me, that resonates in a way in some particular environments. There was a statue of Buddha. It was like made out of jade, and I think it was like 12 feet tall, and then it was on this huge alabaster pedestal, and it went on a world tour. And so it was out in Haymarket, Virginia. The first time I saw people actually trying to photograph this was out in Haymarket at a Buddhist temple, Haymarket, Virginia. And I took a picture, and I'll show you that one now, of looking through what would be a lantern. And I was looking through it just trying to get an interesting picture of, here's the close-up of the marble you're looking through, and then there's something on the other side. And it's a nice picture. But while I was taking it, this guy came up to me and he said, are you seeing anything in there? And I thought he was joking. And I said, what do you think I'm trying to see? It should be obvious what's on the other side of here. And he said, no, you don't know that. And so he showed me this picture, and it was a picture of the statue, but there were just orbs all over the place. And I said, seriously, when do you take that? And he says, well, if you notice, there's a lot of people here with their cameras on tripods, and they're just click, 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 click. I was like, why are they taking pictures of a stationary object? It's not moving. And he said, no, that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to capture pictures like this. So I'm game for it. So I came out the next night with my camera and my tripod, and I probably took 500 pictures that night and 500 pictures another night. And I looked through and like, there's none, there's none. Oh, there's a couple. And I couldn't figure out what the trigger was. So the third night I went out there and I talked to a guy who was photographing them, and he said, he says, the time to catch them is when the monks are done praying. He said, because then there'll be like a big burst of them. And he was right. When you took the pictures when the monks finished their prayers, you could see all of these bubbles, these orbs, but they were moving all upwards. So I thought, well, they might be thought forms then. They might be carrying they are the energy, if you don't want to consider it a thought form of thing. It's the energy of something, and it is ascending. Just like in the churches, they use incense to help your prayers rise. The Native Americans use smudging and things to raise things up. Well, that's what these thoughts are doing. They are moving in an upward direction.
And now I'd like to move towards an experience which I've had while being down here at Virginia Beach. And when I first got down, it was a point where I was able to relax a little bit. I mean, my gracious wife allowed me the time to unpack everything once we got down here.
Yeah, thanks.
Allowed me.
Thank you.
And in between, I would take time and go down to the beach early in the morning, sometimes later on in the afternoon. Later on in the afternoon is when I start seeing colors above the ocean. I can also see a rainbow, like the Earth's,
the aura of the earth.
the aura of the Earth, where you can see the white and the purple, the blue, the greens, and it's really a beautiful time. And I got to the point where I started concentrating between the space of the horizon and the water. And right there, along that edge, I would focus in a little bit keener and try to get it down to, unbelievably, but try to concentrate on one molecule, one atom, one. And at that point, when I was halfway, almost into that meditation state again, I would start to see little sparkles up above. If I look at them, they disappear. But if I concentrate on one, I'm able to see those sparkles. And as I continue to accept those sparkles as some kind of acknowledgement or saying that this is going in the right direction, those sparkles then started getting little round circles around them. And it was a beautiful experience. And I'm saying, wow, here it is. The orbs had plus signs in them. After the sparkles came the round circles around the orbs. And those sparkles, still inside the orb, became like plus signs, which was really an interesting thing. And I'm trying to work with it and see what else will develop from it. But at this point, taking it as confirmation that what I'm doing is the right direction and the right thing. I was also able to take a couple people and also show them, and they were able also to see the orbs and the sparkles, which was a nice thing to be able to teach someone. It was a aha moment for them as well. And one person asked, "And is this what you're doing down here?" And I said, "This is a small part of what I am learning." It's a small part, but I look forward to it. And I hope you enjoyed the information about orbs today. And if you would like to join us on our journey, please hit subscribe. We'd love to have you.
We'd also love to have you if you have pictures of your orbs that you've taken pictures of, or if you have any questions or comments, please let us know. You can just put them in the comments section below this video, or you can email them to either of us.
We can also be called at 757-453-7081.
There are some things going on for us in July, but in August it should be lifting and we should be available for appointments. I will be at the ARE doing readings. He'll be around but not reading. And that will be on July 22nd, which is a Saturday, in Virginia Beach at Edgar Casey's ARE, which is the Association for Research and Enlightenment. And there'll be other events coming up. We do
every Friday coming up in August. We'll be doing a question and answer kind of
thing, where if you have questions, you can email them to us or just put them in the comment box below. Just realize it's not a private reading. We will talk about it here. So if you don't want to use your real name or just your first name, that's fine. And we'll just limit it to one question per person. And that's how we'll start that out. We'd like to make that a weekly thing eventually, but we'll work this in as we can.
Blessings to all.
Thank you for joining us.
Right.